The majority of self-made millionaires in America don't drive luxury cars. They don't live in mansions. They wear ordinary clothes, shop at ordinary stores, and live in ordinary neighborhoods. And most people, if they pass them on the street, would never guess they were wealthy. So if it's not the cars, not the postcodes, not the inherited money, what is the actual pattern? Over the past several decades, a body of research has quietly assembled itself around one central question. What do self-made wealthy people actually have in common? Thomas Stanley and William Danko spent over 20 years surveying more than 10,000 millionaires for their landmark book, The Millionaire Next Door, published in 1996. Their findings contradicted almost every cultural assumption about wealth. Napoleon Hill interviewed 500 of the wealthiest individuals in America over a 20-year period, including Andrew Carnegie and Henry Ford, and published the patterns in Think and Grow Rich in 1937. Stanford psychologist Carol Dweck spent decades studying the mindset differences between people who achieve and people who plateau, documenting it in Mindset. More recently, James Clear's Atomic Habits, CNBC Wealth Surveys, and Ramsey Solutions' annual Millionaire Studies have added tens of thousands of additional data points. This is a 3-part series drawing on all of it, not to motivate you, to show you 5 patterns, documented, repeatable, and almost universally present across self-made wealthy people, that go far deeper than save money and work hard. Because the surface-level advice is everywhere, these patterns aren't. In this first part, we're covering the 2 patterns that almost nobody talks about because they look the most ordinary from the outside and turn out to be the most powerful underneath. Let's start. In 1972, a Stanford psychologist named Walter Mischel ran an experiment that would later become one of the most cited studies in behavioral science. He placed a single marshmallow in front of a 4-year-old child. Then he made the child an offer. You can eat this now, or you can wait 15 minutes. And get 2. Some children ate immediately. Some lasted a few minutes. A small group waited the full 15. Then Mischel did something the original experiment never intended. He followed the children for decades, and what he found changed how researchers think about wealth outcomes. The children who had been able to delay, who sat with discomfort, who resisted the immediate reward, went on to have higher SAT scores, lower rates of substance addiction, lower BMIs, and, most relevant to this conversation, significantly better financial outcomes in adulthood, not because they were smarter, because they had trained or been wired to see time differently. Here's what most people miss about this pattern when they read it in a personal finance book. The power of delayed gratification isn't just about saving money. It's about where it compounds. Thomas Stanley's research in The Millionaire Next Door found that the average millionaire in a study drove a used car, often a domestic model several years old, while their neighbors who appeared wealthier were often in significant debt maintaining that appearance. The millionaires weren't depriving themselves. They had made a different calculation. Every pound or dollar not spent on a depreciating asset is a pound or dollar that can be deployed into an appreciating one. And that calculation, made consistently across thousands of small decisions over decades, is what compounding actually looks like in real life. It's not a graph. It's a series of unremarkable choices, made quietly year after year, but it goes deeper than money. Ramsey Solutions' national study of millionaires found that 94% of the millionaires they surveyed said they live on less than they make. Not 60%, not 75%, 94%. And almost all of them reported that this wasn't a sacrifice, it was a strategy. The psychological mechanism underneath this is what behavioral economists call present bias, the human tendency to overweight immediate rewards relative to future ones. Wealthy people aren't immune to present bias. They've simply developed a stronger countersignal, a competing vision of the future that feels more real, more compelling, more worth protecting than the short-term reward. Which means the first question to ask isn't, how do I save more? It's, how do I make the future feel more real than the present? That's where the habit starts. Here's a fact that sounds simple but has enormous practical consequences. The average CEO reads 60 books per year. The average American reads fewer than 4. That's not a coincidence. It's a 15-to-1 information advantage, compounding annually across every domain that determines financial outcomes: tax strategy, investing, negotiation, psychology, business structure, and leverage. Wealthy people don't just have more money. They consistently know things that other people in the room don't. They know how to use a holding company to reduce tax liability. They know how to structure equity in a business deal. They know the difference between an asset and a liability. Not the dictionary definition, but a functional one. Robert Kiyosaki spent most of Rich Dad, Poor Dad making a single point that most readers absorb without fully internalizing. The financially struggling don't lack income. They lack information about how to deploy income. And here's what makes this compound in a way that's even more powerful than money. Information compounds on itself. When you understand how compound interest works, you start seeing it everywhere, in marketing funnels, in social networks, in learning itself. When you understand how leverage works, every business decision changes. When you understand the basics of tax structure, you start making decisions that save you thousands before you've even found a single additional source of income. Carol Dweck's research on growth mindset and mindset found a critical distinction between people who plateau financially and those who keep growing. The plateau group believed their intelligence and capability were largely fixed. The growth group believed both were learnable. And that belief that you can acquire the knowledge you currently don't have is what makes information asymmetry feel like an opportunity rather than a permanent disadvantage. So what's the most practical application of this? Stanley and Danko's research identified the specific categories of knowledge that separated their millionaire cohort from high-income non-accumulators, people who earned well but never built wealth. The categories were taxes, investing, and legal structure, not exotic finance. Tax, investing, legal, 3 domains, available in books, available in courses, available in advisors, who are significantly cheaper than the average person's car payment. The compound question here isn't how much should I invest? It's what do I not know that is currently costing me? Because what you don't know isn't neutral. It has a price. It shows up in the tax you overpay, in the investment you misunderstood, in the deal you didn't know you could have structured differently. Information asymmetry works both ways. And right now, most people are on the wrong side of it. That's the first 2 patterns. Delayed gratification. Not as discipline, but as a compounding strategy that operates across every area of your financial life. And information asymmetry, the 15-to-1 knowledge advantage that quietly separates the wealth builders from the wealth earners. In part 2, we're going deeper into the way wealthy people think about risk and why the thing most people call playing it safe is actually the most dangerous financial position you can hold. That video goes live next. It's linked in the description and in the end screen right now. Before you go, the Wealth Mindset Starter Kit is in the description. It's free. It includes the money script assessment, the belief origin exercise, and the 30-day evidence tracker. Everything you need to start applying what's in this series. If this is the kind of content you've been looking for, subscribe. Every week on this channel, we go into the psychology, the research, and the real mechanics of how wealth is built. See you in part 2